you. We are playing some Hollow Shredder Vengevine. This is a deck that I played a little bit of back when Ledger Shredder was first printed back in the streets of New Capenna. Yeah, I know the webcam is not focused. We'll fix it. It's a deck I played a little bit of back in the streets of New Capenna back when Ledger Shredder was first printed. It was a deck I liked a lot, and I really always regretted only spending like 1 day's worth of stream on the archetype because I felt like it had a lot of potential. Back then, I was basically, the list was not playing Fury or Goblin Lore. Goblin Lore is a card I really wished I could fit in, but I was kind of the impression that 4 Asmo and 4 Cookbook were just like mandatory includes for the list. But I've been playing the deck more off stream, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that Asmo is just kind of like medium as hell in the archetype. It is fine, but like drawing multiple cookbooks is usually awkward. It's kind of high on the curve. The removal aspect of Asmo is really slow. It doesn't usually come online until turn 3. It's just not something I love that much. And also I really wanted to get the Goblin Lores back in there, just have like tons of enablers, tons of really keepable hands. And I was trying Goblin Lore plus Phoenix Chick for a little while. Phoenix Chick, the new card from Dominaria United, 1 mana, 1/1 flying haste. You can return from the graveyard for 2 mana if you have 3 or more creatures attacking. I also thought that card was kind of mid. I liked that it was a 1 mana creature to help your Vengevines, and it was kind of aggressive, but I think you just want to main deck Fury instead. Fury, in addition to just being a very good card, is a 0 mana creature to go with your Vengevines. It is like 0 mana interaction in a deck that's very proactive and doesn't have time to tap out for removal. I think Fury is just exactly where you want to be. So this is a deck I do believe in. It is one that I thought was good last time we played on stream, and it was a lot of fun last time, and I always regretted just only spending like 1 day with this deck because I really liked it. And then I think this is like a significantly improved version too. Like most cards in spoiler season, I'm gonna keep this hand. Most cards in spoiler season, I know it's always like people want it to be one or the other, broken or unplayable. I think Diabolic Intent in Modern will be fringe playable at best. And in Pioneer, maybe a bit better than fringe playable, but very unlikely to be broken is my current evaluation. Yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Okay, turn 1, Delta Steam Vent. So it looks like we're likely up against Murktide. Murktide, deck very famous for just like always having always having Lightning Bolt or sorry, Spell Pierce. I am going to still play the Goblin Lore here. I'm going to get a Steam Vents where usually you want to get 1 red source, 1 blue source, and then all green sources. And I know I could have just shocked in the Steam Vents and gotten green source with this for Vengevine. Weird. But I wanted to get more cards in the graveyard by using the fetch for the Ox of Agonas. I wanted to get more cards in the graveyard by using the fetch land for Ox of Agonas, and I think that was a bigger priority than like hardcasting Vengevines, which is maybe something to say before I drew 2 Vengevines. Call me Limit, 12 months. Just been playing your 8 keyless at LGS. I keep losing to Murktide. What are my thoughts on having Veil summon the sideboard as a way to jam combo pieces? Your sideboard cards are very, very limited. Veil Summer is a card you could play. To me, though, against Murktide, I feel like I would usually lose to Engineer Explosives more than I would lose to Counter Magic, where a lot of times my plan in that matchup was to just like focus on building up my mana first, and then after that, okay, this is gonna be a good turn. Hold on. And then I build up my mana first, and then just like if my opponent's holding up Counter Magic, just don't play a threat. You can build up mana, and maybe they counter the mana or whatever. But for the most part, I'm just not wanting to play a threat until I can like play 2 or even 3 at the same time to overwhelm their Counter Magic. Okay, let's start off by Furying this Ledger Shredder. Pretty good first game for Fury. Not that I'm saying the matchup is good, but it's your combo deck. It's Murktide. Like even if you have 4 Veil of Summers, it's going to be tricky. Goblin Lore is definitely the high upside play here. The more consistent line would have definitely been to just Ox of Agonas. And so us not having kept the hollow one in the hand, things are maybe a little tricky, but we are going to get to go cast Flameblade Adept and double Vengevine, and so the next turn Ox of Agonas maybe maybe get the rest of the Vengevines out there next turn, huh? Not a bad turn 3. Is the 3 mana Urza buff for cookbook decks? Maria? I think Maria is mid as hell. I'm currently of the opinion that Maria, the new Urza as everyone affectionately calls her, is just a pretty medium card. Not a bad card, but very medium, and one that I don't know. And also, like, your comment, is it an upgrade for cookbook decks? Like, Maria's lets you tap non-token artifacts, not token artifacts. So that is a big hurdle to jump through. Okay, Jabbins with a 9, expansion with a 9. Thank you. How did the upheaval deck, speaking of? I mean, so maybe I don't have a backup deck prep for today. This is the one deck I had prepped before leaving for Vegas, and then I've, spent the last 4 days, traveling and playing Magic and hanging out with people. So maybe the upheaval deck finally gets played on stream today. This is, I believe, a matchup where we are just straight up not sideboarding. We could potentially play Ancient Grudge. Maybe not for the first Grudge over the fourth Fury as like answer to hers, but don't want to overboard on that. Maybe they mean the actual New Urza cards. I think they usually mean Maria, but always a bit easier, I guess, if I'm told the name of the card we're discussing. How did Vegas go? So yeah, we could do a little bit of a Vegas recap. Maybe wait for more people to show up, but it was fun. It was a good time. The tournament was very cool. The convention center was cool. It was kind of like DreamHack or like an esports convention if you've never been to DreamHack, but it's all Magic, which was very cool. Like where DreamHack was, Magic was kind of like dusted off in this corner, and it was very much not the focal point of the event. This event was, it was just all Magic. It was very cool. The environment and the production value was very sweet, and like there's all these superstars there that I was I was on there. I'm sad I didn't get to meet Paul Cheon. I should have made more of an effort, but I was really excited that he was going to be there. I really wanted to meet Paul. Maybe next time. But it was a very, very cool event. Very, very cool event. Unfortunately, I played the modern qualifier for the beta draft on Friday, and it started at 2 p.m. and it ended at midnight. It was 8 rounds, and there was lots of delays. So it was supposed to start at 2 p.m. It really started like almost at 3, and then there was like a big 20-minute delay between rounds. Like it was a whole thing. And hold on, let me see what we pick up here. It was a fun event, but just like all Magic events are are fun events, I guess. I guess maybe I should be cycling the Street Wraith because I'm just almost always casting the Shredder this turn. It was a fun event. Magic events are fun. No complaints there. I will say that how I did in the event, I started off 6-0 with blue-white control. I had meant to play green-red breach, but I just couldn't find a couple of stomping grounds and a besiege you, and I was scrambling to get out the door, and I had blue-white control sleeved up, so I just took that. Although I couldn't find, I forgot to pack my Dovin's Vetoes, but the first Spikeling that sat down across from me and said hi had Dovin's Vetoes for me, which was awesome. So shout out to that player. I started off 6-0. I finished 6-2, so I didn't qualify for the beta draft, which was a bit of a bummer. Starting there at 2 p.m. and it's 10 p.m. and I'm 6-0, and I would have been able to double draw into the top 8 if the round prior, the two other players who were undefeated, if they had finished their match instead of drawing, it would have been clean. 4 undefeateds, double draw in the top 8. It would have been super clean. Unfortunately, it was not clean, and I ended up losing that match to Rakdos Scam, and then I lost the following match to Burr. I lost the die roll, and it was just tough. So I lost those matches. I did win 2 Legends packs though for my troubles, 2 Italian Legends packs that I'm very excited to have. And what are we doing here? Yeah, two Italian Legends packs, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet. I imagine at some point I'll open them for content, but we're gonna save them for a little while. BG Land 9 months, thank you. Shock with the 16. Okay, counterspell my Goblin Lore. Neonate, Connive, Vengevine into the yard. Hopefully we draw Rootwalla. Can just get 2 Vengevines this turn. Not Rootwalla, but very, very good pickup here. Assuming no graveyard hate. I meant Urza, not Mary. Oh, the new Urza. If it's like the uncommon one, yeah, this card is not playable in Modern. There are very few 3-mana creatures that you're trying to untap with in Modern, and they're the ones that 3-mana creatures that you untap with Modern need to be more powerful than this. They need to be like the new Titania. You know what I mean? Okay. Heat my Shredder. I think I can draw at instant speed, but another card in the yard is actually pretty nice. I'm going to thin my library here. I'm just going to get a mountain to keep my life total high in case they Murktide. So if I Ox of Agonas, I have to exile one of my 2 Vengevines, which is obviously not ideal. But I think it'll be fine. And they have flying. We get to discard this wonder. Flying Vengevines make it much harder for my opponent to just like cheese me with a Murktide. I'm going to try the Stonebrain as a main deck engine. I haven't started brewing yet. You know, I've been out of town on vacation for like a few days. I think it's incredibly unlikely that any deck playing Stonebrain is just going to have that be plan A, but it is likely going to be a good card in Goblin Engineer decks, Goblin Engineer and Karn the Great Creator decks. I'm going to keep this on the draw. Very slow, but we have, you know, Enabler Payoff. We have a Street Wraith to cycle. Any brew ideas for Diabolic Intent Modern Pioneer? I mean, I think that, you know, we have Demonic Tutors in the chat, but I think that, you know, it's interesting in Yawgmoth. It is, ooh, baby. It's interesting in Yawgmoth. It's maybe not, gonna be amazing there, but it's I think that's like a good place to start. Oh no, I discarded the hollow one. Too bad. Simon was playing Mono Red Fire's deck and shouted me out. Oh wait, there was like the deck I was playing for Worlds? That's sick. That's so sick. Oh man, yeah, if anybody can find a oh no, we're playing against Dredge. Damn it. I almost played, I was like, okay, I could play the Leyline of the Void in the sideboard, but maybe people are off Dredge now. I mean, it is what it is. Intent slots right into creativity. I don't know if that's true. Like, it comes online turn 4. That's like your combo turn. It's not really the Demonic Tutor turn. Hey, what do I know? Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm maybe getting a little early to get nerdy, but I just really, really love the... I guess I'm going to pitch lore so I can go Shredder and Crew maybe. The Furies, I think, are a big upgrade for this deck. I think the Furies are a really big upgrade for this deck. They just kind of do exactly what you need them to do, giving you another 0-mana creature, giving you premium interaction while you still get to maintain your game plan. Very, very happy with this change. Hard evidence turn 1, intent turn 2. I mean, most of us are cutting hard evidence, so you know that's like a lot of slots that you're adding, and then you've accomplished your 2-card combo of getting a Demonic Tutor on turn 2, but you also haven't impacted the board at all. And what are you Demonic Tutoring for? Creativity? You could just play another Transmogrify instead, you know. They always have 2 of these days. Ooh, and 2 Silver Smoke Ghouls. Ugh. Trader Joe, 8 months. Thought on Squee over Pashik Bonds and Goblins. I win a lot of games in Goblins with Pashik Bonds plus Linging. I feel like that is like a 2-card combo, for lack of a better word, that I'm usually pretty happy to have access to. I think I'm still going to go Shredder Inquiry. Let's get crazy. Oh no, I'm sorry, chat. I haven't cast a Burning Inquiry against Dredge ever. I haven't cast a Burning Inquiry against Dredge ever. Obviously I wasn't supposed to keep that one. Obviously I wasn't supposed to keep that one. Okay, that card is terrible. We're gonna cut all the inquiries. You bring in Flusterstorms. Hey, on 28 months, Big Healthy Gamers 9, thank you. I guess I'm gonna play like a Magus the Moon. Where aren't people playing more Dredge? Dredge has become more popular the last like month or so. So it's hard to say like that is that people just aren't playing it. It's definitely become a lot more popular. Ooh, Tudor sent me a link of the clip. I don't know if you said that in the chat or not. Oh, awesome. And then Deck Tech for Gamers. If you post that in the chat, we'll take a look at it. I'm gonna take a look at this. World shout out.
Oh, here during our lunch break, we've got one coming up here from Simon Gerson in Explorer Mono Red mid range. I talked to Simon a little bit about this deck. He was so excited to play it this weekend, thought it was awesome. Let's hear from him right now.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Simon Gerson doing a deck tech here on Mono Red Fires in Explorer. Tell me a little bit about this deck because this is definitely not the norm.
Oh, this is sick.
So basically, we wanted to play Fires of Dimension because we believe it's one of the best cards in Explorer. And then there was actually an Aspiring Spike video series on the Pioneer format, which my brother watched, where Fires of Invention was used in the same shell. Okay. And we figured out that this might be the best Fires deck for Explorer.
Let's go.
Thank
you, Corey. Love you, Corey.
Let's take a look at the first slide here. This is kind of...
We made it to Worlds, baby. Not how we wanted to, but we made it to Worlds. Alright, John Creativity. I think you're playing too many discard spells, kind of my first impression. I would play like 4 Thoughtseize, no more than 1 Inquisition. It's just kind of tough to... Hold on. I might keep this hand. It obviously really needs to draw land. It's very high upside in a matchup that is pretty rough. And we're low on enablers. I don't know, maybe 2 Inquisitions is fine. 3 seems like a little bit much. But maybe like just this to push through the combo is actually more relevant than I realized. I'm surprised that you're not playing any copies of Persist though. I feel like that's really what you're missing, especially with, you know, you lacking that extra color, so you don't have access to some of the more versatile cards, or the more, access to counter spells, access to Leyline Binding. But those decks even like usually play at least the first Persist. But I feel like I like the main deck. I would be like pretty inclined to just go like -2 Inquisition plus 2 Persist or something like that, or potentially like -1 Inquisition, -1 Transmogrify plus 2 Persist. Less good ways to discard without Prismari Command. I don't know how, in Creativity, I feel like you very, very often get the Archon in the Yard via the... Should I Goblin Lore here? Let's try the Goblin Lore. This is like much higher upside than the Ledger Shredder in a matchup where we do need to kind of have the high upside. Well, their top card of the top of the library was 2 Leylines and Archimiva. That's a very good card in Creativity. I mean, that's the thing about Creativity is there's really just no wrong way to build it. Okay, discard the Ox. Hit them for a decent amount too. Let's take a look at the sideboard. But I would be inclined to at least play the first persist. So you could cut 1 Inquisition, 1 persist. You can cut 1 Transmogrify, 1 Inquisition, 2 persist, or 2 Inquisition for 2 persist. So whatever you think is the best after maybe some playtesting and thinking. So another thing is I have been like totally owned in the past by Turn the Earth, playing like Red Green Breach, but I still kind of feel like Turn the Earth is kind of a weak card. Okay, so here I could double Fury. I could double Fury to get a Vengevine back, but I think it probably would just be better to go like next turn Neonate, discard Vengevine into Fury. And then likely get extra creatures. Okay, they found a Dredger and an Archimeeba, which makes the double Fury line a bit more appealing. But I still have lethal next turn anyways with both Vengevines, so I think that this is going to be better. Was Magic 30 fun? Seemed awful from Twin Interactions. I had a lot of fun at Magic 30, but you know, I kind of always have fun at events because like a huge part of the fun is like talking to the spikelings, you know. Talking to the spikelings and just chatting and like signing cards and just, you know, I always just have so much fun at the events because of that. But it's also like that is always like so much time of my events. I don't get to like experience exactly what the intended structure is usually either. That being said, I had a lot of fun. I thought the event was very cool, but it was also like, you know, certainly like somewhat crowded and hectic, and it had issues, for sure. Okay. So let's go Fury, pitch Fury. Get back both Vengevines. Kill the Archimeebas, cast Goblin Lore. Okay, awesome. Definitely kind of an awkward draw on their part. Good to know that they have Leyline, I guess, but not really anything we can do about it, which is okay. This deck's plan against Leyline is just not get back Vengevine, not be able to cast Ox, and beat them down without those cards. I think Cyber looks pretty good. I don't think you want Slaughter games. I think I might even be playing like Surgical Extraction over Slaughter games, where with your discard effects, like you'll be hopefully able to like Surgical Extraction those payoffs, and at 4 mana, especially on the draw, this is going to be a bit high in your curve. I'm assuming Chandra Acolyted Flame is for the grindy matchups TM. I feel like with you already having 4 Veil of Summers, this is not the kind of effect I'd be interested in playing. I would be interested in like the 2nd Alpine Moon. I'd be interested in the 4th Beseiju in the sideboard also to go with your Rin and 6s. I feel like those would be pretty useful. You can also play 1 Beseiju main 3 side. I think that would be fine. Again, I'm really just like not a big Turn to Earth fan. I'm a big Nature's Claim fan right now, but okay, this is a turn 1 hollow one. Or the draw. I'm gonna try it. This is definitely a very fun hand to keep, and I think keeping very high upside hands like this deck, this could cast 2 hollow ones in turn 1. In a matchup like this, knowing that my opponent brought in Leyline, I think keeping it like a turn 1 hollow 1 hand with very high upside is fine. Obvious awkward against the Creeping Chills. Yeah, but I want to see more Beseijus. I'm not a big fan of Turn the Earth. I think that with the Turn the Earth play, like creativity players, like, oh, the burn matchup is so bad, and I'm gonna play Turn the Earth, so I have like equity against both burn and and hold on. Do I want to sack this Neonate now for a chance at a 2nd hollow one? I think yes. Let's go! That's how you play this deck, baby. So I could have equity against graveyard decks, and I can have equity against burn. But the thing with Turn the Earth is it's just not that good against graveyard decks. It's good against burn, but it's, you know, there are better cards against burn. Oh, they have Ancient Grudge? Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I think I need to try to maybe find some mana here. They don't necessarily have green mana. Doc, 32 months, thank you. Have I talked about Diabolic Intent? A little bit. I mean, I think it's going to be like fringe playable in Modern, and maybe probably a bit better than fringe playable in Pioneer. Okay, Conflagrate, Solar Smoke Ghoul. Conflagrate to get those dredgers back in the yard is a pretty big game. Then they can get a Stomping Ground and kill my Hollow One this turn. Cast this Goblin Lore, I suppose. Okay. Wish I had the Flusterstorm available this turn. Diabolic Intent will be really good in Greasefang. Okay, people say that. Diabolic Intent seems much worse to me than Eldritch Evolution. Like, Evolution just, like, puts the freaking Greasefang in play, you know what I mean? 80 triples triggered today? Probably not today. I think we milked it a lot on Friday. Intent is way more flexible and easier on the mana. It's flexible. It's a lot less powerful. You know what I mean? Just like, I don't know. Every Magic deck building decision is a question of power level versus consistency, and I feel like the consistency that Intent adds does not compensate for the power level that you would get with Eldritch Evolution. But it's fine to disagree. All right. One big issue with going, turn 1 Supplier, turn 2 Intent, and you mill over your thing is like your opponent like always knows to easy keep. Like it's easy to play around that too. Like it's very the line is very telegraphed. Is Intent good enough to replace Evolution and Yogg? Probably not. It's just like in these creature decks, like you would if you're gonna like search up a creature, I would rather just spend one more mana and put that creature into play, but I could be wrong. I've honestly only ever cast the card in cube, so maybe my impression is off. Oh man, we keep discarding the hollow ones to Burning Inquiry today, and then we don't have blue mana for Shredder on turn 2. Oh, we're playing against we're playing against my Power Conduit deck. That's awesome though. You'd love to see it. Okay, so let's go Neonate. Discard here. And then I would really prefer to not Fury and pitch the Ox, but I think I have to get a bit aggressive here. Intent and black green food. Yeah, like listen, there's gonna be spots that this card is playable, but I think it'll be fringe playable in Modern, a bit better than fringe playable in Pioneer. Yeah, you could do a split also. Like you could play 1 or 2 in Yogg. Thoughtspot, Twitch Prime, thank you. Yeah, you can get any card with Diabolic Intent. It's Diabolic, it's Demonic Tutor, but you have to sack a creature too. Joven, 4 months, thank you. Yeah, Wonder in the Graveyard is nice. You do need to find an island though. Heisenberg, me and Esther just finished, well, I'd seen it before, but Esther finished her first watch of Breaking Bad last night. Joven with the 4 again. Intent and creativity, sack dwarves to get creativity. Listen, this I think is a terrible, it's like, it's turn 4. It's turn 4 when you get dwarves. On turn 4, you already have so many 4-drops in creativity. I would rather just play a Transmogrify. If your goal is to sack a dwarf to get a creativity, just play a Transmogrify over the Intent, right? Okay. Maybe it's better to hold this for next turn. I'm more likely to trigger the Vengevine if I hold it. Yeah, let's do to Dredge. Could play Hard Evidence again. I think that it's just not correct too. Like, I just don't think that's where creativity wants to be. You could, but then you have to play Hard Evidence again, and you have to play Intent, and that's a lot of slots to assemble like a 3-mana 2-card Demonic Tutor. I'm a Yogg player, not get played over Evolution unless the deck changes, have a lot more non-creatures. You never search for 1-drop, so why would you use it over EE? Yeah. I mean, there's some function, but yeah, I agree for the most part. Okay, so that's my island to give my creatures flying. I think I'm just going to fly over for 5 this turn, and then depending on what I draw, or if they like Portable Hole, sack the Vengevine. But it's also like, if you play Hard Evidence to go with your Intent, you're not always going to have hard evidence on games where you draw your intent, you know. Yeah, having to pitch the Ox earlier does stink. I think it was fine. I mean, this is what happens when you play the deck. You keep hands with a high upside, and some amount of the time you just don't get there, and that's okay. Here, if we just draw another creature, we are presenting lethal in the air, and you know they have to have dispatch to really stop me, which is, you know, somewhat likely. I am playing 4 dispatches at the main of this list. Is anything in Spoiler Scream Modern? Yeah, there's a few cards. There's a few cards. I'll definitely be doing. So yeah, last time I did like a long form, or like a 30 or 40 minute long YouTube video with like a PowerPoint I had made talking about all of my thoughts on the new set, and I'm very likely to do that again. That video was pretty well received. I enjoyed doing it. No one could ever play around the castle. The castle is impossible to play around. That video was pretty well received. I enjoyed making it, so I'm likely going to do another one of those talking about everything. So be on the lookout for that, but it is still a bit early to say for sure. Okay, so I definitely want these 4 Ancient Grudges. This is also a matchup where the Furies are good, so we're going to keep those in the deck. I think I'm pretty likely to... I guess I actually do want to keep Wonder as well. So let me take a look at the list. Someone said that they copy-pasted, so I can... just look. Oh wait, so it's now titled this. So like we can bring in some Moonlights. Not much else. Okay, that's pretty good for me. They have extra lanterns and stuff. I don't think I'm going to bring in Flusterstorm for Moonlight. I can just try to play around it. I think I'm likely going to go down to like 1 Street Wraith, maybe 2 Street Wraith, 2 Adepts against the portable whole deck. Is it Magus good? I mean, Magus only kills Saga. You have Grudge for the Saga tokens, the targets. It's like very slow in the draw. You can play 1, but it's not like you're light on good cards in this matchup anyways. With these new spoilers, how likely is card to be banned in Pioneer? I don't know. Someone on Twitter has said Modern. I said no. Yeah, honestly, this is like very like frustrating going into the RC, or like a little frustrating going into the RC that like mono green is just like immediately getting this big buff, but there's still plenty of decks that are good against mono green, I guess. Reeve 14 months, thank you. I don't think that the new cards like really change that dynamic too much, but I could be wrong. I guess like combo decks get a lot worse against mono green because of the brain card. What card is buffing mono green? The main one is the brain. What is it? There's a brain. It's a 2-mana artifact that you can spend 2 mana and exile it to necromancer your opponent. But with no, like, you know, they don't get to draw cards or make zombies or anything. And it's tutorable with Karn, and it's even recurable with Karn because it exiles itself. Add the Stone Brain. Okay, let's keep this hand. I might put back the Shredder. I'll put back the Shredder, I think they do draw cards. I'm like 99% sure they didn't. I read that card a bunch. I can take a look. I think the card's a really big deal. It is a big buff to every card in the Great Creator deck in Modern just plays this deck forever. Or plays this card forever in Modern. It's just in every single card board. Oh, leaks DMs. Okay. Nothing bad. Not that there would be anything bad, but try to keep people private. They do draw a card. Okay. Oh, they do draw a card. Okay, this card sucks. Just kidding. I had no idea. I totally missed it. Okay. Still very good card. Still in every card in sideboard forever. Very good against creativity. Any Cascade deck. Titan. Tron. Huge deal. Yeah, only for the cards in their hand. Just it's exactly like MTGO, right? Except this one can get basics. MTGO is the one that can't get basics. Okay, I don't think I'm ever gonna get this Ox to work through the Lantern, so I'm just gonna discard it here. Obviously, I need to find lands. Not ideal to be sacking like this, and not ideal to be bricking either, but maybe we just win on game 3. Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy is non-artifact card, right? So like, but beyond just Karn decks, this card can see play in. It would be incredibly good in like this mono white deck that my opponent's playing and I was playing all last week. And this deck was very good. We had a very good record with it. I think I currently have. I know I have a 75% win rate over 4 leagues with this version. I can't remember exactly what the numbers are, but whatever 75% win rate after 4 leagues is, that's my current record with this deck. And this would be a good place for it. So any deck that like is interested in helping their combo matchups and is lacking access to counter magic, you know, in any like white or red or green deck that is looking to improve their combo matchups, is going to be somewhat interested in this card, especially if you have like artifact synergies. I might even we'll play this out, I guess, but it's looking pretty bad for this game. Did I see the new prototype Snapcaster? Yeah, that card is very interesting too. I think that card has a lot of potential. I think that it is maybe going to be a little overrated, but still somewhat playable. Like, people are talking about how it's just busted, but I think it's fine. It's fine. It's definitely fine. It's definitely fine. It's exciting too. About the card Rise, yeah, it's going to be fine in Rhinos. You know, I think the best card to cast off of it is maybe just going to be Expressive Iteration. We'll see. We'll see. Can't unearth it. Well, you can unearth it. Just, yeah, don't get the chain. Yeah, you can cast Cascade cards, but the thing is, like, it only casts Cascade cards. It only like casts Rhino if you've already Rhinoed, right? It only does the thing if you've already done the thing, and so Rhinos is already a deck that's really clogged up at 3 mana. It has a ton of 3-drops. I would have if I had to draw a green source, I would have kept playing, but let's just back it in. It's already a deck that has a lot of 3-drops, and you can play it as like a 1-of, but it's not going to be like a slam dunk. But yeah, you know, it is now like potentially a deck with See the Truth and Founding the Third Path. You know, you have an extra way to flashback See the Truth for cards. It is true, like turning those cards, you know, into something can be kind of tricky, but now you have like 2 cards that really care about like casting 2 mana sorceries from the graveyard, so maybe another hold on, I'm helping my opponent. Loop Lantern with let's keep this. We have Burning Cream. We'll be passing out candy tonight? I think so, yeah. Esther really wants to. Is Shenanigans worth a look over Grudge? Grudge is just better. Like, you know, it's more powerful, it's much faster, it's instant speed. I think Pioneer Redback Sack gets to play Silver Bullets like Kari's Zev's expertise in Shieldred. Oh, you saw the Doomwake tweet? Maybe. I mean, I think Shieldred, like it's hard for me to want to play cards in Sacrifice that aren't very synergistic, like Shieldred. Shieldred's like a good card, but there's not like a ton of synergy there. We did mill over a Grudge. Find a land. We did find a land, and we maybe cut them off of white mana because they didn't play a plains on turn 1. That would be very nice. Oh, also they have a treasure vault, so we have Ancient Grudge in the yard. Deck tag for Bracco. If you post the link in chat, I can take a look. There's Power Conduit. No Saga, though. Alright, let's jam this Goblin Lore. And then we get to go Rootwalla, Manus away, Vengevine, cast Rootwalla. I get just a Stomping Ground now. Cast Rootwalla, get back 2 Vengevines. Oh, I didn't even notice we discarded another Vengevine earlier. Until just now. Pretty good. think it makes sense, and 10 gives you access to a bunch of situational cards like Karizos, so I'll join them too often. Yeah, I mean, I think Karizos is fine. I don't like Shieldred too much, but this is also, like, this is a lesson I've learned a lot this year. This is a lesson I've learned a lot this year, is that Magic players in general play way too many silver bullets for their tutors. When, like, reality is, like in Sacrifice, like, you're almost always going to get, like, Cat Oven, Mayhem Devil, Claim the Firstborn. Like, you're going to get one of those 4 cards way, way, way more often than you'd ever get a Karizev or a Shieldred, or you're going to get a land is also maybe something you get. But it's like, you're just going to get those so much more often than you get anything else, that, like, I think you diminish your deck's overall power level more than you increase consistency or versatility by adding less than powerful silver bullets. Okay, love this hand. Keep. I'm going to play Adept on turn 1. Why are there Greaves in the Conduit sideboard? There shouldn't be. This is Manriki Gusari. Modern staple. Okay, up against Hammer. Interesting matchup. Alright, I think I'm supposed to play the Shredder here. I do think it's somewhat close. Did I find out who wins the beta draft? Yeah, I left before the beta draft finished. I know that Nikachu got into play, which is very exciting. I was on Nikachu's stream for a little bit with Honorog. Or Honorog stream a little bit with Nikachu. And then also, yeah, Brock and Bad Decks. I need links from both of you in the chat, please. Oh, there's one for Brock. Okay, Brock first. Naya Stoneblade midrange. Okay. Well, let me take this turn real quick. Oh baby. Oh baby. Flying Hollow Ones. Right, scary enough for Halloween, hopefully. Oh, was I supposed to hold the Rootwalla? Because my opponent's, like, pretty likely to double spell, and I would want to connive that. I don't know, that's probably overthinking it. Okay, so the problem with decks like this, you know, Naya, four color Stoneblade. The problem with decks like 4-color Stoneblade or Naya Stoneblade is that you are pretty good in grindy matchups and creature matchups, but you have, like, this deck has, like, literally 0 interaction for spell-based combo and big mana. Although with the exception, you do have removal against Titan, but, like, you know, spell-based combo specifically is going to be really tough for you. I do think it is okay to build a deck like this, to have most of your sideboard be dedicated for spell-based combo, and then game 1 you're just good against creature decks fair matchups, and I think that's especially fine right now with Tron being, like, generally underplayed. Hold on, let me sideboard real quick. Yeah, I think the Adepts come out for grudges in this matchup. You can play 1 Adept and cut 1 Street Wraith too. And on the play, I think you can play some number of Magus. I don't think you can really afford them on the draw. I do think this is fine. I don't like to see these Wall of Omens though in a Stoneforge Mystic deck. Like, you have a density of ephemerate targets without the Wall of Omens. You have 4 Stoneforge, 3 Omnath, 3 Fury, 4 Solitude. You don't need them. I think the Maul is fine. It's good on Ragavan. It's better for you to ephemerate Stoneforge Mystic if you have a lot of tutor effects like this, I guess. But, like, maybe if you just cut the Wall of Omens and you do something like play you're probably just playing like 4 Teferi in that spot, and then all of a sudden you are much better against those spell-based combo decks. I think I like the Inquiry here. Although, man, Inquiry has done... I discarded my Hollow One and my Fury. Oh, but I also discarded the Sanctifier in Vex, so maybe that's just, like, fine. They definitely have a Paladin. Not much to do, though. Will Blue White Stoneblade ever be good again? Was it ever great? I thought it was good for a little while. I do think there's a chance we play it again in the future. Yeah, I think I just want Teferi over Wall of Omens. I want to play 3 Besejus over, or like at least 2 Besejus over 2 of the Charmals. And I think it's interesting. That's how I would start, and then obviously make changes after that. Let me look at the mana real quick. Seems fine. Seems fine. They got a Shadow Spear. Okay, so let's go. Let me actually play Mountain first, so that if I hit an Ancient Grudge off of this, I can flash it back potentially. But it might have Spell Pierce. That'll be okay. Okay, so Madness, Blazing Rootwalla, get a Connive going. Discard here. I've cast 1 creature spell, so now I cast Hollow 1. Get back Vengevine. And then we play Neonate, attack with both, and pass. This deck is really powerful. This deck is really powerful. It's consistent. It's resilient. I like this deck a lot. We lost to Dredge. Dredge is a tough matchup. We play Ley Lines, though. The deck has a lot of Ephem targets without Ephem. Wait, that deck was playing Ephemerate, I thought. Am I just dead? This is gonna be 22 power, so I need to put 7 points of toughness in front of it. No, then I can still go to 0. Right, 18. 22 minus 7, 15. Okay. Game 3, unfortunately. Well played, opponent. Yeah, could play at Magus on the play. Ooh, Doc. 19 months. Thank you. Okay, let's keep this. Our inquiries have been not the best for us so far, but they will be the best for us right now, I believe. Oh. Okay, I discarded Ancient Grudge. Pretty good overall. And maybe this messes with their mana. You know, it's always can be hard to tell. You still need to find some cards. But very, very nice to have that Ancient Grudge insurance policy here. Another discard enabler for the Ox would be pretty ideal. So Shredder, Inquiry, Neonate, Lore. Titania, Protector of Ogrog. Okay, so Goryo's Vengeance on Titania is very cool. I don't know that it's good, but like that is like a very cool thing to try to do. I would probably recommend... Oh, and also on Slogurk. So Vengeance on Slogurk. You get the trigger. I feel like I'd play the 4th Titania over the first get Rog. You can also Goryo's Vengeance Grist. This is a very cool deck. Uh-oh. Nothing to... I can't flash back the Grudge either, unfortunately. That card is very good against us. Well, I guess I could flash it back on the Hollow one. So I am liking the idea of this deck. Feels like it needs a little work. I'm trying to figure out the direction to go. Oh, they're not attacking. Weird. Okay, I can't flash back Ancient Grudge anymore, though, so we'll just cast this. Can draw an Ancient Grudge. Yeah, so I don't want to cast the Burning Inquiry and maybe discard the Grudge. I think this is going to be okay to just pass. Although I guess we're kind of screwed once this Chapter 3 comes down. I mean, I can Grudge the Shadow Spear if they don't block. Oh, they just have Shadow Spear now. Okay. Damn, this deck is so tough. Okay, I don't like Otherworldly Gaze very much. I don't think I'd be playing any copies of this card. I think that just playing playing this in your deck mostly to mill over lands and like mill over Titania just feels like a pretty underpowered thing to be doing. Alright, I'm not really sure how we get out of this, but it probably starts with the Burning Cree. I mean, if I like Goblin Lore, discard 3 Vengevines, or maybe Inquiry, discard 3 Vengevines, and draw Hollow 1, that's going to be 12, 16. I think Gaze is nuts in the deck. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. I feel like I'm, maybe I'm just the world's biggest Otherworldly Gaze hater, but I don't know, maybe I always just see the downside of this card. I'm going to mulligan this. I think I'm going to go to 5 also. Okay. Weird hand. I want to keep the Ox of Agonas. I don't like these Lilianas very much either. I might be just maxing on a Grist before I play any Lilianas, to be honest. I don't know, this is such a tough deck. All your deck techs are always so tough to do build for. Okay, only one Rootwalla in play to block the Ragavan. Hopefully that's gonna be fine. Liliana usually means non-scam. Possible to say for sure. I don't know why you have 3 Assassin's Trophies in the sideboard. You should probably be playing 0 copies of that card. Should probably be playing some number of Flusterstorm in the sideboard as well. I don't like... Cling to Dust is a card that I think you can play in the main deck. It's also not a card that I think you should be playing in the sideboard of really anything. It's like main deck or bust. Yeah, I kind of want to cut the Cling, cut the Assassin's Trophies for like 4 Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm's so good right now. I also kind of want to see you main deck a Nile Spellbomb. And then maybe, yeah, I think main deck a Nile Spellbomb's fine. So maybe 3 Grist, 3 Grist, 1 Spellbomb, no Liliana, and then, pick your best, Pick your favorite Graveyard Enabler. If it's Otherworldly Gaze, Suitor Wayfinder, Grizzly Salvage. World's your oyster, I suppose. Okay. Love to get Vengevine back this turn. Haunter, 26 months. Thank you. I'm gonna cast this. We get another Rootwalla. We could hit last card could be Hollow 1. Upside's really high, and we did get there. We even have a land in our hand. That was pretty perfect. For as strong as this deck seems like it's still very Glass Cannon-like. Yeah. I don't think that that's an incorrect analysis, but I mean, just some players just like never want to play decks like this that are like powerful, linear. They do their thing. They're super hard to deal with. You have some crazy hands, and sometimes you lose a sideboard card. Sometimes your deck fails, but this deck is super powerful. It is absolutely a Glass Cannon. Although you get to play some interactive cards. But glass cannons can kill your opponent. Glass cannons can be very powerful. Yeah, I definitely do agree. Some players just have like a huge they just hate to play decks like this. And that's okay. You can hate to play decks like this, but that doesn't mean they're not powerful. Well, I guess it would have been way better if I just kept that on top, but I think it's better to Ox than it is to just 3 mana Hollow 1 here. Sorry, I shouldn't have clicked like I did, but whatever. Okay, no. Vengevine in the yard. Yeah, Shredder is really good in this deck, I think. I trade Magus for Blood Moon in the sideboard of Red Black Sack in the current meta. I think I was playing a split last time. I think I was playing like 3 Blood Moons 2 Magus so that I could bring in Blood Moon against creativity. Yeah, 4-2 is fine also, or like, you know, 3-2, 2-2. Strict, 17 months, thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, I'll be excited to try Diabolic Intent in like the red black sack deck too. I mean, I'm excited to cast the card. I just don't think it's gonna be super duper impactful. I could be wrong. Why not Flameblade Knight extra and Trigger Shredder? I think that I just want to get the Vengevine back for sure. Also, like the Flameblade Adept, if I draw a discard effect, can be pretty powerful. But I think I'm just so ahead if I get this Vengevine back in play. I want to dodge like random unlicensed Hearse, random graveyard hate, because if they're blocking, it kind of seems like they have that. Although I guess they're thinking that they just can't. They need to play more defensively, and the Channeler is not defensive at all. Okay, this is a very interesting card to have picked up here. I think I just cast it. I think I just cast it, and then see what happens. I might you know, Ox of Agonas instead of Shredder, but okay. Yeah, Ox of Agonas, I like that because it gets the Wonder in the graveyard, so I just get to presumably win the turn right here, right now. Flameblade Adept is so crazy. This card is just so good. Yeah, I think this is a matchup where we're not sideboarding. Oh, no. I think I want to go -1 Fury for 1 Grudge at least for Hearse and stuff. You can play 1 more than that, but Fury also kills Voidwalker, so I think it's probably a good split. Same way we sided against Murktide. So I think we could maybe play Leyline of the Void next league. I was pretty torn on... So, like, I think that you can cut the Chalices and the Orvars for Leyline of the Void and just play 4 Flusterstorm. I was thinking that this would give you, like, better matchup against Creativity and Cascade decks where you have, like, five more impactful cards for each matchup instead of just 4 Flusterstorms. But we played against Dredge last league. I was wondering if maybe Dredge was going to be a little less popular this week, but it was somewhat popular last week, so I think I'm going to pivot a bit here for the next league and just play ley lines and not just be as soft a Dredge as we were this league. Small again. Have I gotten Orvar yet? I haven't really been playing Titan decks since like the Orvar tech's been around. Has the Yorion ban really done anything to modern format other than lowering average deck size? Yes. The metagame hasn't changed a ton, but like there's definitely like the Omnath archetype has splintered into a lot of different decks. So there's like a Karuga deck now. There are more control, like traditional 4-color Omnath control decks. There are still the Delirium versions. Like the archetype is kind of splintered into a lot of like actually distinct and unique decks instead of just one blob. Which is Elementals, you know, is also a deck as well. It has been, you know, and then also like, you know, decks that were weak to Yorion, decks like Scam, Murktide, seemingly are improving, and decks that were good against it, like Tron, is like just like so fallen off. Not that Tron was like thriving, but it took even bigger hit. Wasn't a huge crazy change. Okay. So we discard a land. You think it's funny every time a companion gets banned, just a new one pops up? I mean, I don't know if that was true with Luris at least, right? Like, people were already playing Yorion. Yeah, Respect the Cat, who like was the innovator really of the Karuga deck in Modern, I think has top 8 at 3 challenges now with it. I mean, I may be just like totally wrong. I can't remember the exact numbers, but has been doing super well with it. It's very impressive. It's looking good. Okay, if we draw another Street Wraith, we can cast this hollow one. I think I do want to still cycle. 1 more damage. I wish I had that to discard the Kroxa. Giganta replaced Lurrus. I mean, it replaced it in, like, exactly Grixis Shadow, but yeah, sure. I mean, people also... Giganta, like, is a card that has been seeing play, though. It's not like nobody played it before Lurrus either. Ooh. Very good here. The guy, 37 months, thank you. We might end up hardcasting this. Wonder. I think I'm gonna cycle this again. Took the Kruger deck definitely have to decide to play big mana. Rough. rough. I've been kind of wanting to play Karuga and... Ooh, I guess I have to get Stomping Ground now. I've kind of been wanting to play Karuga and Blood Moon together, but it's obviously, like... easier said than done. You'd be like Naya. Top forward, 2 challenges, another top 8. That's awesome. Hey Shane, how's it going? Spyro's very good here. This card's 2 spells. Probably gonna have to go to game 3. Yeah, I can fetch Shock, just died to the Voidwalker. We'll go to game 3 and get him when we're on the play here. Oh, also, so we were talking about this the other day. I need to rename this, but I've talked about how I've had this, like, these drafts for a while of, like, Brought Back and an Emeria Skyruin Shell, where the best thing to do with Brought Back is you're just on turn 2, fetch, 2 more lands into play, and then all of a sudden you're hardcasting Fury Solitude on turn 3. Sun Titan's pretty powerful. I think it's interesting in the Saheeli Shell, where, like, Brought Back is pretty good with Teferi, where, like, a lot of times, like, either your opponent will kill Teferi in your turn, and you just, like, crack a fetch, bring back Teferi, or, you know, you can -3 Teferi if you have 3 loyalty, Brought Back. You can set up some good turns with it. And so I've had this deck, actually, like, in my drafts for a long time, and, like, I couldn't find it, and I found it. So, I don't think it's something we'll play today, but just something I wanted to show off, because we were talking about it, like, on Thursday last week, I think, and I just... I'm like, I can't find the list. What did I play at Magic 30? I played Blue-White Control. I started off 6-0, and then it looked like I was going to be able to double draw into the Sunday portion of the event. But unfortunately, the match that, like, I assumed we'd be double drawing with, they drew unintentionally the round before, and so there were 3 undefeateds going into round 7, which meant that if you got paired down in the next round, you couldn't draw, so you had to play, and then I lost my last 2 rounds. Ooh, baby. And I got 2 lands out of their hand. Did it start as an Emeria Sun Titan Shell that put copy combat or vice versa? This started off as a Power Conduit Restoration of Nganjo Shell. Restoration probably doesn't make a lot of sense here with, like, not enough 2-drops, but it's called Power because it started off as a Power Conduit Urza Saga deck with Restoration, and then that deck eventually became what I've been playing on stream, like, the last couple days. That's really close to the Kiki Exarch deck I tech last week. Why do you like Feldar over Exarch? It's better with the flicker effects, and then obviously, like, it combos with Saheeli, which Saheeli also combos with Sun Titan. There's, like, a lot of, like, overlap, and then Saheeli is a permanent you can brought back, and then your combo isn't really, you don't have to play Kiki Jiki. Old Thoughtseize bug. Can we see the boy list at the beginning? It's, like, very, very similar to what I've been playing on the stream. I'm just, like, I wasn't playing Shadow of Doubt. I was playing 2 Chalice, 1 Dress Down, which is pretty boring, but it was fine. Yeah, but yeah, I didn't mention this, but the Sun Titan, or a Saheeli in the yard, a Saheeli in play. Sun Titan is also an infinite combo, which I think is pretty powerful. Yeah. So yeah, if you have Saheeli in the yard, Saheeli in play, Sun Titan. Then Sun Titan gets back Saheeli. Saheeli copies Sun Titan, gets back.